Welcome back to another episode of the Business is Pleasure podcast with your host, the dapper, clean, very polite, handsome gentleman that I am, John L. Francis. Of course, with my bae all day, every day.
Okay.
Colette Monique Liburd. Again, I'm snitching out her whole government name. That's what I do. I'm a snitch and I don't care. But I do care about you, babe. So, the best way to start the show, like we always do, how was your week?
Thanks for the introduction. My week was good.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. I think that we kind of were a little bit behind on our event schedule for the rest of the summer, the summer months. So I think we both kind of took a lot of time to kind of stack that up a bit to make sure that we had all of our events in line for, not all of them, but a good chunk of them until September. But yeah, for the most part, my week was good. Just a lot of organizing. Did a bit of picking here and there. Nothing too crazy. But yeah.
My week I had a really good week in terms of productivity, but not necessarily for the business.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I have an exam coming up, so I've been really diligent working at that. Guys, please wish me luck. I'm excited. But aside from that, like in terms of business, yeah, we were a bit slow this week in terms of like getting ready for events because we don't have any until I think early July.
July 7th, yeah.
Yeah, early July. So I was able to pick a couple times, once this week, which was really good. We got a bunch of pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And also what I really liked as well was that we were able to keep on track with our whole 72-hour turnaround. So if we get an item Monday, it should be up and in the Google Drive by Wednesday.
Yeah.
And we've even accelerated that even more now, is that, yes, let's say we got an item Monday, we'll wait until Saturday to shoot everything.
Yeah.
Because I could go picking, you go picking through the week and everything, you know?
Yeah.
So it's nice now that like all day Saturday is just photography, editing pictures, and just posting online. So it's nice.
You've actually gone a lot faster than I thought you were. Like even that last Saturday, I swear you took the pictures.
You always doubt me, babe, man.
It's not that I doubt you, but I was just surprised that you did it so fast. So you got all the pictures done, and it was in the Google Drive before Sunday. It's like, what? Good job, babe. I'm proud of you.
I was really proud of myself, man. But it's kind of good, though, because I think while we're running a business, that's one of the major things that we got to focus on. Mm-hmm. How can we become better and more efficient at each thing, you know?
Yeah.
Because it would really suck if I was just, like, to still move at that same pace.
Yeah.
As we did when we initially got the camera, when we initially started shooting photos of the clothing and everything. It was horrible. It was horrible.
So slow. And the quality was not as good.
Yeah.
Not nearly as good.
Yeah.
And even I was thinking about that today. So I watched that little podcast or webinar on like how to increase your social media engagement and just like learning all the different.
How did you like that though?
I'm not gonna lie, the first 10 minutes I was still sleeping. Because I logged into it. I signed up for it to like show at 9:30 or whatever, but I was kind of still getting up, so I missed a bit of it. But okay. I still paid attention to what I did here. But it was good. Like it was really informative. It was really like transparent. Like it wasn't one of those webinars where it's like, yeah, like I'm gonna give you like little tidbits of information, but like in order to actually get like true information, you have to buy something. That it did ultimately lead to that at the end. Mm-hmm. But like what I got from the actual like webinar itself, I thought it was still really useful. So it was good, and I learned a lot of stuff that like I'm gonna apply. And honestly, I can't remember my train of thought really, but why I started this conversation. No, I remember it now. Nice. So we have to be our own experts, right?
No, 100%. You have to be your own
So the
expert.
same way where you took your class like a couple of years ago on photography.
Yeah.
I need to, develop certain skills to become an expert to apply that to our business.
No, definitely.
So.
Yeah. And it's nice too, right? Because like those little things that were not necessarily that you can learn from and help you. What was that? What the heck?
Are you okay?
I don't know. But yeah, those little
tips.
tips.
Did you cough on yourself?
No, I didn't cough on myself. It was just like this little piece of phlegm got like stuck in my throat. I'm like, what's going on here? But whatever. Yeah, so like it's nice though, like I need help. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, so it's nice though, like when you have like little classes like that can teach you little tidbits and help you, then essentially it helps your business. Instead of like us having to outsource and pay someone else, then losing money, then hurting our bottom line.
And it's not something that's reproducible. if that makes sense. Like, you can't always expect, like, every time something changes on Instagram or something changes on Facebook that you're gonna, you know, pay someone to give you the information or pay someone to teach you how to properly beat out that certain algorithm so that you can be at the top of the news feed. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
definitely.
it's just, you have to just be able to figure it out, learn it on your own so you can apply it whenever it does change, because it's constantly changing.
Yeah, and I think that's the good thing too, because like the tools that she'll teach you will probably allow you to like open your eyes up to new things that you probably didn't notice before.
Yeah.
So when something new is introduced to any app, whether
Yeah.
it's Instagram, Facebook, or whatever,
Yeah.
you can automatically pick up on that and be like, hey, like, let me check this out. How can this work for us?
And the great thing about Facebook is Facebook bought Instagram, so the algorithms are pretty much the same.
Yeah.
If something applies, obviously it's a little bit different because the demographics for Facebook and Instagram like vary slightly. But if there's a specific algorithm in place, like for example, currently right now, in order to be at the top of the newsfeed, you have preference if you provide like video content, and you have even more preference if you use, say, the Facebook the video like your story.
Live video, the Facebook live video.
The Facebook live video, if you use that through Facebook, you're at the top of most news feeds, for example. But that same algorithm applies to Instagram too. So if you use your story, or if you use the new story feature where you can post like hour-long videos on Instagram, that also puts you at the top of the newsfeed as well. So there are a lot of similarities between them that kill two birds with one stone, which is always like
It's
what I'm trying
perfect.
to do.
It's perfect. Nice. Just perfect. Okay, guys. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is that we had actually gone to an event not too long ago, and it was cool though. It was kind of annoying at first, just because someone had like tested our integrity of our company, and it was nice though because it allowed us to like really deal with the situation properly, and also just use it as a learning lesson, you know. So we had flown all the way to America to this event that was actually really, really, really good. I'm not gonna bad up the event at all because they're really good at just putting on shows and everything. So for the most part, that was good. But we just had a customer that came over. They're unhappy with the product. They just said like, hey, like, you know, we think this item is fraudulent or replica. We went through them, confirmed that everything was all accurate and everything was on point. But it was just unfortunate just because the way that the company itself
handled
handled it and everything, you know what I
And
mean?
the crazy thing about like reselling, retail, and especially like hype clothing, for example, your integrity is everything, and your name is everything. And like, we're building a business. We're not just like doing this for fun or doing this on the side. So our name is like our badge of honor.
Reputation, man.
So if you try to tarnish our name in any way, like, there's gonna be a serious problem, because at no point would we ever like tarnish the integrity of our business or tarnish the integrity of Clarendon Co. and each other by selling fake, replica, whatever you want to call it, anything other than being real. So, and that goes for our vintage and like our high-end streetwear, like Off-White and stuff like that. So honestly, to say the least, it was a little bit disappointing, but at the end of the day, like you said, it was a really good learning lesson. We learned a lot. I learned how to defend myself a lot better. I learned how to defend our product and represent what we sell a lot better.
And our company too, as well.
And like,
right?
realistically, like, we were talking to a number of people like in the community, and like, it's the first time that it happened to us, but like, it happens to everyone.
Yeah, and especially with
You
this
know?
type of community, there are a lot of people that just want to sneak in,
Yeah.
sell fake stuff, and then
sneak
leave
away,
or whatever,
yeah.
you know. But with us, we actually want to bring value, bring good products, and also really like engage with the community for a long period of time.
Yeah.
So with us, that's what we've always stood by, our morals, and also just like our mission statement of our business: good quality products
For
that
everyone.
customers
For
can like
everyone.
at reasonable prices and everything, you know. But I think with the whole situation, it allowed us to understand that like, this is gonna happen again. People are
Yeah.
always gonna try and like big dog us to see if they can see what's going on, and we just have to handle ourselves properly, which we did. Exactly.
Under very, very stressful circumstances, I
Yeah.
think we handled ourselves as best as we could, because we could have gotten angry. I could have flipped a table.
Fuck this shit.
You know, we could have like ripped down
The
the
angry black
racks.
man?
You know what I mean? Like, we could have done the most, but at the end of the day, like, we respect ourselves and we respect our business, so we handled ourselves accordingly. Even right now, like, I'm not going to talk bad about the event that we went to, because it's a good event, and I'm not going to tarnish their name in any way, because they don't deserve that, right? Like, I have my differences, we both have our disagreements, but at the end of the day, my business is going to be successful without them, and their businesses continue to be successful without us. So
Yeah, and I think that's what the whole thing that we constantly say to each other. We don't ever like hold any animosity or bad blood to people.
No.
It's always a lesson. It's
at the end
always
of
a
the
lesson.
day, like, you taught me something, and I'm gonna forget about you. Like, I'm gonna move
Yeah.
on,
And
you're
they'll forget about us.
You'll forget about me, and we'll all move on.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Because I
it's
think
not that serious.
Because I think if your business is held on by like one incident where you need something, once that thing is gone, you're essentially saying your business is gonna fail, right?
Yeah.
So with us, we understood that it's a constant moving machine, and we
Yeah.
have so many different mechanisms and compartments that run our business, you know.
Exactly.
So they were a nice aspect to it, but hey, like, you know.
Product's still moving regardless.
Yeah, probably still moving. Products still moving regardless, even without them.
Yeah.
But I think that was a real surprise. But I think one thing that really surprised me, especially with us when we initially started our whole vintage company, were certain brands
Yeah.
that I really didn't think that would do as well for us.
And it's so crazy. Sorry to interrupt you, but it's so crazy how the market tells you what it wants.
You know what's funny? As soon as you said that, and that's why I think even you said the other day, like it would be so hard for someone just to get up and start their own brand. Because what goes into starting your own brand is more so like one, reputation of the brand, and also how the public perceives the brand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why when I see people at events and they're like selling their own merch with like their own like whatever they want to put on their shirts or whatever, I commend them so much
Yeah.
because like to do something like that, it takes a lot of balls to be like, hey, like I have a product that I think is cool, that I think is great, that like I think you'll like too. You know what I mean? Like that takes a lot of balls to be like, you know, forget about the Levi's, forget about the Tommy, forget about the Polo, take a look at my
Focus
brand.
on my stuff.
You know what
my
I mean?
stuff.
Like that takes a lot, and like kudos to you, whoever's doing that out there. It's a lot of people. We see it all the time.
Yeah,
but
no, definitely.
Like keep up the good work. It's really cool.
Yeah, definitely. So for me, as I was saying, like one brand that really surprised me from the beginning. I remember when we initially got the brand, I didn't even want us to go with it because like I'd see a lot of people wear it. And it really varied too, from like people who are really into fashion, people that were in construction. Carhartt.
Yeah.
The Carhartt jacket has literally been a really, really important aspect when it comes to like our fall and winter line.
Yeah.
Because it's something that, like, again, Kanye West and Yeezy, the way that their jackets are structured, they copy brands like Carhartt. And also just the quality of the Carhartt. And also just their reputation, their name in the industry. They're known for good quality products,
Didn't
right?
Bape do a collaboration with Carhartt?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know why I think they did, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll research it.
Yeah. I know a bunch of people are doing collaborations and everything too, right? And it's good too because Carhartt's a brand that was more so known for like construction and workwear.
Yeah.
But they found a way to become relevant in terms of like fashion and being more trendy and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure.
How about yourself? Like, are there any brands that you thought of like, oh, nah, we're not playing with these ones, man. These brands suck.
Definitely, I wouldn't say that Carhartt like I never thought that.
But it didn't interest
sucked.
me. It didn't
But
interest me.
It didn't interest me, and I didn't think that it would interest anybody who we sold to.
Yeah.
But it definitely surprisingly did. I think also LL Bean was really
Oh
surprising.
no, definitely.
Because LL Bean, all I'd ever really heard about it was like the owner of the brand was like a Trump supporter or something along those lines. I knew it was like an American company, which like tends to read well. Like a lot of people like Canadian companies or American companies, like just things that are not like exported, I guess I could say, or imported. But yeah, I didn't expect anyone to really care about it. But whenever we have LL Bean stuff, it always sells. So it's fine.
Yeah. And I think LL Bean is somewhat similar to Carhartt, where Carhartt's more construction, but
Yeah.
LL Bean is like hunting and like hiking type of stuff or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But again, like they're both legacy brands. They've been around for like a fair long amount of time. So of course, I think that's one of the reasons why people like really like. Did they do a collaboration, Bape and Carhartt? Okay, I guess you were right. Okay, babe, you got it. You
Yeah,
got
see?
it.
The emblem.
Yeah, you're right. They did do a collaboration together. But it literally just looks like a Bape jacket.
It's literally just a Bape jacket with like a little
Carhartt
Carhartt.
thing.
And I'm sure if we felt the
quality
quality,
probably is the
it probably
Carhartt quality,
is
right?
the Carhartt quality.
Yeah, so like I think like legacy like brands like that.
But now, sorry to interrupt you.
Again,
Now,
what's going on right now?
I'm sorry. Now that I think about it, that makes sense why a lot of our demographic liked Carhartt.
Because they probably learned about it from like Bape and
Bape.
things like that too, right?
That's what I'm saying.
It's just like when Supreme does their launch like with Fox, right?
Then all of a sudden Fox out of nowhere.
That
is-
starts to build up and creep
Yeah.
into like the same community as
Yeah.
well too, right? And I think that's so smart though of different brands where they do like cross
So
collaborations. Because what they're really doing, they're opening up one another to each other's market, right?
Yeah, they're expanding the market.
Yeah, I think that's extremely smart. Extremely smart. And that's why I kind of like what we do as well when we do our high-end stuff, also with the vintage stuff. It's
Yeah.
like it's funny because like my brother, you know Jason, like he's not really big into fashion and stuff.
Yeah.
So when he was exposed to like the off-white stuff, he's like, what? what the heck is off-white? This stuff is so cool. You know what I mean? And then of course when we go to like a sneaker show where people aren't really big on vintage, they're getting exposed to vintage. They're like, oh crap, like
I like
this stuff is cool. Like the
Yeah.
quality's dope. Like, you know, I can work with this stuff, you know?
Yeah, no,
So-
for sure.
Yeah, so it's nice how like we can introduce people to different items and they can introduce us to stuff as well too. So, you know, it just creates that like whole communal aspect of like, hey, if we're in fashion, just because the name may not be popular in your community, you can still rock in a certain way that fits into your lifestyle and that fits
Yeah.
into the way like you carry yourself, you know what I
No,
mean?
for sure.
So I think that's always important too, you know what I mean? So in terms of like any issues that like we've been having lately, I think it's nice though, guys. Sorry, if you have not heard of Chit Chat Express,
Use Chit Chat Express. Okay,
Everything.
listen. So we'll break down our
yes, we've talked about this before, but we're gonna tell you guys again because it's important.
You really need to know.
It's
okay,
important.
so when we first started our business, we were doing some like international sales, a lot of like sales in Toronto, stuff like that. And we were going through Canada Post, of course, because that's really the only postal service that we really knew about. And in comparison to say like FedEx or like UPS or Purelator, Canada Post was like the most affordable and the most accessible to us at the time. But we found that when we were doing a lot of the international shipping, we were shipping to say like Australia or like the UK, just anywhere like outside of like say America or Canada. The shipping, for example, would be like
Ridiculous.
$40, $50. $40, and like realistically, like say if I'm posting a jacket online for like $60 and then my shipping's $40 and then I paid
The cost
the
for the
cost of
shipping.
the actual jacket
Gas,
itself,
driving now.
like it's a lot of money. And at
Adds
the
up.
end of the day,
Oh, you also have to remember the fees from the app as well too, right?
yeah, you're doing like way too many ad libs right now in my like story.
Oh
and
shoot, my bad.
yeah.
Sometimes I have to freestyle it, you know.
No, it's a little too much for me right now.
My bad, babe. Go on.
Okay. So overall, it was a lot. Okay, we were spending a lot of money, and our profit margins were really, really small into comparison, right? So I'd say no, actually not recently. I'd say probably in the early parts of this year, maybe December of last year, January of this year, we learned about Chit Chat. And Chit Chat's a really interesting company because they essentially are based out of the U.S., but they allow shipping from Canada essentially. So basically what it is like they're using a US location to ship their stuff out of, so you get the US rates or like the US Postal Service rates, but it's all in Canadian dollars, it's all in CAD. And they also have like partnerships with other like shippers and other airlines that can ship things for even cheaper than like US Postal Service, for example. So I'll give you a quick example. So today I was shipping out a package, someone bought Off-White. They were located in the UK. So typically if I was shipping through Canada Post, shipping with tracking would cost about $50, okay? Easily. Shipping without tracking would be like $30, $35.
I don't even say $40.
Yeah, it'd be
Like 40.
overall it's a lot of money. So I shipped through Chit Chat today, and they give you a bunch of options to choose from. So there's one carrier called Ascendia. It's this new
But I think Sweden or Switzerland. Something
yeah,
like
through
that.
Sweden. And guess how cheap the shipping was with tracking.
With tracking.
With tracking.
With tracking.
With tracking. I'll repeat, with tracking.
With tracking.
It was $6.50.
So if you are in the business of reselling, whether you make jewelry or anything, and you're always shipping items out, guys, we implore you to go to Chit Chat right now. The only downside I would say about Chit Chat though, they don't have a lot of locations.
Yes, that's the only thing. So they have one located downtown Toronto, and they have one located like in Markham, like a little bit north.
One in Mississauga, one in Pickering. So essentially one in each region of Toronto.
Yeah.
Sorry, in each region of Ontario.
Yeah, but overall, even if you have to drive a certain distance, or
It's worth it, man.
worth it. And even what we do now, because before when we used to ship items, we would just kind of like ship them whenever we could. So if we sold a couple items on a Wednesday, we'd ship on like a Thursday, or if we sold a couple items like throughout the week, it was just random, right?
Next day shipping.
There was no, like next day shipping essentially. There was no real like true system. But now what we do, because we're getting in more items more frequently throughout the days, we hold our stuff and we ship on designated days, depending on like, so say if you purchased on like Sunday and like we weren't really supposed to ship out until a Wednesday, we wouldn't really make you wait that long because we'd probably have a couple other orders as well, and we just ship out on the Monday. But for the most part, on a regular week, what we do is we usually ship out on either Mondays, Wednesdays, or Saturdays. So however it falls in the week where your product is purchased on, we ship out on the designated day that follows.
And I think like just the whole idea of chit chat too, it's so good just because it helps our customer. Because instead of them having to pay the price with the shipping through Canada Post, now they're paying through a chit chat price, right?
Yeah.
So it allows us to lower our prices.
Yeah.
Have more frequent people purchase from us while giving people better rates and everything.
Exactly.
So overall, it's an amazing idea, man.
It's amazing.
Because like what we always talk about in business, it's not always about making more money, but how can you save money? How can you save money?
Yeah.
And essentially by doing that, we'll end up making more money in the end. You know what I mean?
And our customers get a better product because they're getting a fairer rate for what they're buying, and they're not, paying that extra $10 or $15 that we would have charged before for shipping because we were shipping through Canada Post. We just lowered our prices across the board through all of our apps.
Yeah, honestly, it's just a win-win, man. It's definitely just a win-win.
It's definitely a win-win.
And in terms of like telling people about how to like save in terms of shipping or whatever, I think also what's good too is if I saw this whole promotional idea that I really, really liked. So essentially, yes, I'm taking someone else's idea. And know what I hate? I hate when people try to say that, well, that was my idea. Ideas are not meant to be isolated into one person's head, okay? They're meant to be shared and explored, and each person tried them
And
out.
like realistically, it's 20.
Nothing's original, okay?
It's 20.
Nothing's original anymore, okay?
Yeah, like you're not Einstein developing. Wait, no, he didn't develop the light bulb. Who developed the light bulb? Alexander Bell. Someone Bell.
Graham Bell.
I don't know. You're not any of those guys back in the day, okay? This is 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything's already been invented. Like just get over yourself.
Get over yourself, man. So these guys have this amazing marketing plan that I really, really do like. We may not do it the exact same way, but something really similar. Where essentially what they did, they had a couple items that were like really big ticket items. So they promoted it for the whole week. But what got everyone's attention? Those big ticket items were only $1.
Oh yes, you told me about
They,
this.
they were literally $1. Yes, the item sold out in 10 seconds, and there were a limited amount of them, like maybe like 5 or 6. But what it did, it allowed everyone that came to the website to look at other pieces now that were regular price because they weren't able to get to the promotional items on time or whatever, So I think like doing like little marketing plans like that will allow us to like garner a lot of sales at one time, while of course like what you were saying, bringing a good price to the customers or the ones that are able to provide it,
And I think that's one of the things that we're working on going forward, because we haven't fully created our marketing plan as of yet. We have one.
No, we have one, but I think like what we need was like a cyclical marketing plan where we know that okay, like this is what's happening, this is what's next, this is what next.
And we haven't like fully implemented yet, so stuff like that is a good thing to kind of try out here and there and to see how it works.
Yeah, like think about like for Black Friday.
Yeah.
Christmas, for what's that? Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that would be perfect.
We can have sales, or even like leading up to like Christmas, or leading up to say like Valentine's Day or Father's Day or Mother's Day, or just like random things throughout the year, or like even like a summer sale or whatever the case may be, like
back to school.
Whatever it is, like we can do stuff like that.
No, and I think it's good too, right? Because like a lot of our things rarely ever go on sale. So I think our customers would really appreciate it if they were looking at the item for like a little while. They're like, oh crap, like this is gonna be on sale now. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
Like for instance, like that girl that we offered a 50% off of. She came back and bought something, and she wanted to buy even more stuff.
Yeah.
So it's nice when people like feel like you're making an attempt, so they can feel as if they're getting a good product for a good price and everything. You know what I mean? And that's important because like you don't ever want to feel like you're being taken advantage of.
No. And at the end of the day, like we're here for our customers. We're here to provide a good product for our customers at a really good price, and if they're not happy, we're not happy. If they're not happy, we don't have a business. So like they are essentially our business.
They are our business.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we were failing so much at the beginning, because we used to make a business about us.
Yeah, we were focusing on what we want. It's like, well, I like this type of clothing, so other people like it too. Or I like, wearing styles like this, so other people like it too. And like, no, that's not the case. You have to cater to what the market wants. The market will tell you what it wants, and you should adapt accordingly.
Listen to it.
Exactly.
And it's crazy because it took us a little while to like really listen to the market and understand like, okay, what are the products that our audience wants, or like who is our audience? You know what I mean? It literally took us like a year and a half through trial and error to figure it out. And then when we finally did.
That's the only way.
No.
It's crazy. So a lot of the times when I'm researching stuff, it'll be like figure out your market, but nobody ever really breaks down to
How
you.
should you figure it out?
How do you figure out your market? And like I'm sure there's a lot of other ways out there that you can that will help you figure out your market, but one of the best ways to figure out your market realistically is trial and error.
Yeah.
Trial and error. We did a bunch. You guys know. We did a bunch of crappy ass events. Didn't work. We're not our demographic. We're not even close to being
Not
our
even
market.
close.
And we realized that's how we slowly got closer and closer to our market. And I feel like right now we're in a really good pocket.
Yeah,
where
we're in a solid
where
pocket.
we do have a really good grasp and a really good understanding of our market.
Yeah, and I think that's only going to get better because right now what we need to do while we start doing the podcast, while we're going to be doing the articles as well too, right? We find out who our market is, so we're tailoring a lot of our content towards them exactly.
And
like,
where
you know
they
what I mean?
are.
Exactly.
Like the majority of our market is on Facebook and Instagram. And
Yeah.
that's where we
Yeah, they're online. Like,
that's
you know
where
what I
we
mean?
spend the majority of our time as well because
That's where they are.
That's where they are.
And that's it. That's what's extremely, extremely, extremely important.
Yeah.
So, are there any last things that you maybe want to touch on before we head out of here?
No, I think I'm good. I think we covered the majority of stuff for this week's podcast.
I'm also saying I'm extremely excited. I'm wearing shorts. It's been hot in Canada, so I'm really happy about that. It's not cold anymore. And one last thing, the Jay-Z and Beyonce album, fire. If you guys have not heard it, please go listen to it now. By the time you hear this podcast, though, it's going to be like 3 months down the line.
Yeah, but honestly, you'll still like it.
The Carters, listen to it, please.
Yeah, you'll
Fire,
still
fire,
like
fire. And if you guys have any questions, maybe some ideas or some topics we can talk about, please feel free to hit us on Instagram, Facebook, or by email. And guys, please don't forget, like and share so we know that you care.
It's like
All right, guys, until next time.
Bye.